speaking of lying Democrats, let's go to a woman who does it for a living. In fact, she's paid by the American taxpayer $180,000 every year to play cover-up for the president. Her name is Karine Jean-Pierre. She is the press secretary. She's going to be very familiar to you, I'm sure. So she was asked recently, I'm about to play you this clip. She was asked recently about a visit to the White House by a very esteemed neurologist. This visit took place on January 17th. Now, they, being the press, knew through the White House visitor logs that this neurologist and Biden's personal doctor had been there at the same time. So the press simply asked Jean-Pierre, so were these guys there to inquire after the president's health, maybe run some tests? And in typical Jean-Pierre style, she dutifully lied for the president, misleading the American people and the rest of the world, still trying to convince us, oh no, these two rando doctors just happened to be there, hanging out, I guess.
I want to get a clarification on the letter that was sent last night.
Sure, absolutely.
From Dr. O'Connor. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't seem to explicitly describe the nature of Dr. Kennard's meeting with Dr. O'Connor. So can you say whether that one meeting was related to care for the president himself?
I can say that it was not.
It was not. Okay, great.
So their visit wasn't with regards to Biden's health. They weren't there to check him out or anything. Well, it turns out she lied and she's had to backpedal big time as it came to light that the two doctors were indeed there to run some tests on Biden and swap notes. She said because the date was not mentioned in the question. I want to be clear that the January 17 meeting between Dr. O'Connor and Dr. Kennard was for the president's health. Now, that is the only meeting between the two doctors that the press could have ever been referring to, because that is the only meeting in the White House visitors' logs that they knew had ever happened, ever. So for Jean-Pierre to now come out and say, oh, no, I was confused. I thought you meant maybe another meeting between these esteemed medical doctors. Oh, no, the January 17th
That's my favourite part.
Yes.
Oh, you meant that meeting.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about all the other days in January where they didn't meet. Oh, you mean the meeting in January where they did meet. Oh, yes, that did take place.
To be Joe Biden's spokesperson, it's almost a prerequisite for the job that you are perpetually confused. But
especially on 180K.
Exactly.
Like,
Can I just quickly say, though, 180K is not actually that much.
American money.
No, by Australian top Australian spin doctors here would get paid more. And I think our PM actually gets paid more than the president does.
I'm sure it's a heck of a lot more than the average American.
That's right, because they don't have unions and minimum wages, which I'm sure you would endorse.
And it doesn't count income from Chinese business people, Ukrainian business people.
Oh, that's right. That's why you've got to get the lobbyist stuff on the side.
But
as they do.
The visitor logs showed that this doctor, while he only is recorded as meeting with Biden's personal doctor on one occasion, this expert on Parkinson's disease visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. And so Jean-Pierre said, well, he was also, promoting research into Parkinson's disease. Yeah, they were doing the research in the Oval Office.
That's right. You're going to set up a little stall in the hallway of the White House.
So how can you believe anything they say?
Research. It is absolutely...